Okay, so I decided to check out Do Revenge. I wasn't quite sure at first if this was gonna be a teen flick, but then I saw a little clippy clip and it piqued my interest, people. You know what I mean? So yeah, I checked it out, right? So this is from Jennifer Kaytin Robinson. She directs, she also co-writes with Celeste Ballard. The film is produced by um, Robinson, also Peter Crone and Anthony Bregman. It's executive produced by Joshua Bakovar and Matt Levin. Music is handled from Est Haim. I wonder if that's one of the Haim girls. And Amanda Yamate. Cinematography is Brian Burgoyne. It's edited by Laurie Ball and David S. Clark. Production design is Hilary Gutler. Art direction is Paul Moy and Amelia Steele. Costume design is Alana Merched. We got hair and makeup from Ellen Arden, Katie Ballard, Jennifer Denise Bennett, Dana Hamill, Ashley Langston, Teresa Morgan, Sonia Riviere, Leo Stakovich, and Luke Wacky. Now, our cast. Our cast. Well, we have Drea, who is played by Camila Mendes. There's Eleanor, played by Maya Hawke. There is Max, played by Austin Ambrose. We've got Max's sister, Gabby, played by Talia Ryder. There is Drea's best friend, Tara, played by Alicia Boy. There is Carrissa, Eleanor's ex, played by Ava Capri. Then we got Elliot, played by JD, Jonathan Davis. Megan, played by Paris Berluck. Montana, played by Maya Raflecchio. Erica is played by Sophie Turner. Algira is Rachel Matthews. We've got Clarissa's best friend Russ, played by Rish Shah. There's Jessica, played by Eliza Bennett. Arena, played by Francesca Real. Sage, played by Olivia Sue. Peter, played by Jude Timothy Harris. Vice Principal Norris, played by Todd Allen Durkin. The headmaster is played by Sarah Michelle Gellar. Yes. Yeah. I think that's our major players, I would say, people. I mean, there's a load of kids up in the spot, right? So, there's a lot of people. Now, here is the gist, right? So, Drea is at the peak of her high school powers when her entire life goes up in flames after her sex tape gets leaked to the whole school. Right, in another synopsis, it does say the sex tape is a topless video, right? Because you never know, right? Because you see the camera pan and you see like her throw a bra down, and I believe you see her throw a panties down, but yeah, you have no clue what this video is, what's happening, or anything like that. But we know a sex tape gets leaked. But yes, so the text tape gets leaked to the whole school, seemingly by her boyfriend and king of the school, Max. Eleanor is an awkward new transfer student who is angered to find out that she now has to go to school with her old bully Carrissa, who started a nasty rumor about her in summer camp when they were 13. After a clandestine run-in at tennis camp, Drea and Eleanor form an unlikely and secret friendship to get revenge on each other's tormentors. Bum, 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 bum. So, right, just hearing that plot, right, you can think of so many things, right? So many things that obviously this is influenced by, right? You've got the Hitchcock film Strangers on a Train, right? And all the new iterations on that. There's the I always forget what it's bloody well called, but we've got that one with it was directed by Paul Feig, right? With Anna Kendrick in from a few years back, which was bloody good. That was a whole revenge thing. There's so many of them. And then when you look at all of these teen movies, right, that this is, yeah, definitely walking in the shadow of, Clueless, like the whole school aesthetics. You can feel it's being mirrored on that. You've got things like Mean Girls, all the cliques, She's All That. You know what I mean? Like a little Ferris Bueller, Pretty in Pink, just all of these things, right? All of these things have that. And I will say, right, I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, I feel that it's like what's happening, right? You know exactly where it's going to go, right? As soon as you start watching, you can be like, okay, yeah, obviously they're going to do this and then they're going to do this and then it's going to go here. And it's going how you think, right? But you're like, wait, surely the conclusion must be coming now, but we're only halfway through essentially. And then they throw in this twist, right? They throw in a twist to be like, da-da-da-dum, which, see, the twist gets it kind of weird, right? Because it's one of those situations where they then go, oh, yes, you thought you knew what was happening, but people, but, which is all well and good, but then it doesn't make sense, right? It's like, okay, that's fine, but it's a situation, right, where instead of, I think, painting it in a certain way, so a lot of things might be ambiguous, right? You might think, I thought they were friends. That seems a weird thing to say. You know what I mean? Oh, I wonder why that happened. No, they don't do that. They play it like it's legit. And then with the big whole twisty twist, right? Then it's just like, haha, you thought this, and no, but it was really this. But then you look at the things that have gone, and it's a bit like, yo, but that then doesn't add up, right? The emotion shown in that bit, that makes no sense, right? That whole thing, that make no sense, right? Which is the problem. I think if it was just played slightly different, I think maybe the twist would have worked, right? But because of, and then they kind of give the twist away from a phone call from Drea about her car, right? As soon as that happens, you'd be like, oh, so that means, because it's just like, there's no need for the car thing, right? It's kind of baffling why that's there. Because don't put that there. And then you're not giving that. that nugget of doubt for people to go, oh right, I see where you're going. I see where you're going. Right? So that's the big thing here. But it's like, although it's a story we've seen, right? It's a story we've seen. It's still fine. It's still, it's not bad, right? It's not bad at all. The dialogue, it's one of these things with these kind of films. It never really feels natural, right? You do think people don't necessarily talk like that, or everyone's not talking. You know what I mean? You might get the odd person in a friend group who's like more verbose, or more slang, or just more, what I mean? But when you just get every single person who we ever meet talking these same similar patterns, it's like a little, huh. And I think the other thing about this film as well, it kind of needed to be set in the past, right? Because they do certain things. It's not set in the past because it's like when Max is like, oh, I've decided to set up the cis men for whatever it is, like empowerment of women or something like that group, right? So oh, this is now, right? But it's like, yes, I can imagine someone going, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm an ally. But you're going to have some dissenters, right? Especially at a motherfucking university with safe spaces and all of this. You're going to have people that are like, no, you can't speak for us, or, just whatever. There's going to be that. But they want to paint it that Max is loved by everyone, you know? So it's just like, doesn't quite work. Doesn't quite work. Most of the acting is solid, right? Most of the acting is solid. There are a few roles which kind of a bit like, oh, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Also, the character's not fleshed out at all. Right? We do have that thing where characters meet and they're necessarily at the beginning they're not friends, then they meet, and then the next time they're fucking, right? Which is always just like they never show anyone, hey, let's go on a date, let's get to know each other. It's always, oh, we didn't like, now, oh, now there's a connection, oh, now we're just gonna randomly kiss and now we're gonna fuck. That's it. And you're just like, you could show more, right? You could develop this. It could go a different way. You don't have to be cliche to talk people. You know what I mean? So we have all of this. Like the end doesn't really make sense. I mean, it makes sense, but you just think, what are you doing? Like we get a whole kind of platoon moment, which is just sort of like, what? And then I think there's a load of people culpable for things that go down, right? And although they're like, oh yes, let's address the person that does this thing, they still don't address like the whole hive mind situation, right? Where the people that are friends but then turn on each other and all of this kind of thing. It's just like, like I think sometimes these films they act like they want to talk on these things, right? They want to be like, look, we're sending a message around this, but then they really fall short on the message, or they only really address one part of it, and you're just like, I mean, you could have done more. There's more that could be said here, you know what I mean? But hey, there you go. That's what we get. That's what we get. So it's interesting, I mean, it's okay. I felt it's okay. I think if they just finesse some of the things, it would have probably racked up a bit more. Would have racked up a bit more. But it's a teen film, right? So if you like Clueless and all of them things, right? This, may well speak to you. If you like the recent senior year, what I mean? Just stuff like that, then I think Do Revenge will talk to you. It's not a Count of Monte Cristo, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, it's not that. I did think it might, what I mean? That's why I originally thought it might be a little, what I mean, crazy like that. It's not quite. It's not quite. Well, let's say it's not quite. It's just not. You know what I mean? It's not. But yeah, as I said, look, here you go. They. Here's the other thing as well. When we get the big twisty twist, there are kind of elements of the film that they seem to want to change. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you planted that or that happened. And it's just like, yeah, but that didn't happen. You know what I mean? Or the way you showed it, there was no indication of that thing. So to then go, oh, that seems very weird. Right? So yeah, we did get that, which again, you know what I mean? More finesse. More finesse. The other thing, which this might just be me, but I do get a little tired about these films when it's like a white dude. You know, like every single person is just like, oh, this little white dude. Oh, he's incredible. I want to fuck him. And you're just like, I mean, we could change the race. You know what I mean? Like, does it always have to be a white dude? You feel me? It just feels a bit like, what? You know what I mean? Let's show you some different dynamics, people. You know, maybe, right? Might just be me, but anyway, people. As I said, look, if you like your teen films, Clueless, Senior Year, those sort of jams, then yeah, this interpretation of Strangers on a Train might very well be for you. Do Revenge is now on Netflix.